new paint, and any other touches that you want to have within your home before you move in. Right. So there's more expenses there as well. Renovation work, kitchen cabinets, bathrooms, tiles, roofing, plaster ceiling, lights. So much to think about, right? So you want to have that kind of money put aside as well. Not move into your home and then think, yeah, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. So if you start saving from now, before you buy your house, you will have that buffer there as well. You know?
So it's like emergency money, like for a rainy day, something like that, right?
Yeah. Number 7, consider what type of property to buy. You may assume you'll buy a single family home, and that could be ideal if you want a large or a large lot, or a lot of a room type of a lot. But if you're willing to sacrifice space for less maintenance and extra amenities, and you don't mind paying a maintenance fee, a condo or townhouse could be a better fit. You know, especially in today's climate, majority developers are pushing or developing strata developments, high-rise developments, condominiums, service apartments, and so on, rather than landed property.
Yeah, like homes and stuff like that, like houses.
The fad is that right now. So if you're going to purchase into that, consider it as well. It's not a bad thing. Condominium living is totally different from landed living. I think one of these days we should do a segment on that.
Man. House, land. Wait, hold on. How do you call that? Landed property versus
strata property.
Yeah,
I think we should do that one of these days.
Definitely.
There's pros and cons in both. You know, so don't think that condominium is not something that you should go after. You should. You should. There's a lot of plus points in a condominium as well. Yeah. Number 8, research mortgage options. In a 30-year fixed rate mortgage given, or is another loan type right for you? You need to know that. If you can afford larger monthly payments, you can get a lower interest rate with a 20-year or a 15-year fixed loan. Or you may prefer an adjustable rate mortgage, which is riskier but guarantees a low interest rate for the first few years of your mortgage. Now, in general, most people, when they apply for a loan, they'll go for the maximum tenure, which is 30 years or 35 years, depending on your age, right? However, if you can afford a little bit more on a monthly basis, and you bring your tenure down to 20 years or 15 years, on a long run, you're saving more. Because you're paying a lot on interest, right? So in the long run, you save a lot more. Right? So consider that. And there are different types of loans in the market. There's a fixed loan, there's a semi-fixed loan, there's a flexible loan. So, and all of them have their pros and cons as well. So you want to research that properly before committing to something, because you're committing for a long period of time.
35 years, 30 years.
Yeah, it's a long period. 9, like I said, compare mortgage loans, your rates. You know, many home buyers get a rate quote from only one lender. Let's say I want Maybank. I only go after Maybank, right? But this often leaves money on the table. Comparing mortgage rates for at least 3 lenders can save you more than 3,500 ringgit over the first 5 years of your loan. That's just a rough estimate, according to a recent research that was conducted. Get at least 3 quotes and compare both rates and fees before you make a decision. Right? Number 10, get a pre-approved letter. Now, what do I mean by this? You can get pre-qualified, which simply gives you an estimate of how much a lender may be willing to lend based on your income and debts. Right? But as you get closer to buying a home, it's smart to get a pre-approval, where the lender thoroughly examines your finances and confirms in writing how much it's willing to lend you and at what terms. Having a pre-approved letter in hand makes you look much more serious to a seller, and can give you an upper hand on over buyers who haven't taken this step yet.
Right. So this pre-approval letter is from the bank.
From the bank.
Okay.
So basically, what you're asking the bank to do is, you're already going to give me that loan, but just give me a pre-approved letter, so I can show this letter. So if, let's say, I and 3 others, let's say you're selling a home, and I and 3 others want to buy a home, and I show you my letter saying I've already got it pre-approved. You know,
so it's more serious.
So you as a seller would look at me more than you're looking at the others. You know, so it just makes sense. Number 11, stay under your pre-approved limit. As mentioned earlier, as your agent shows you homes, look for properties that cost a little less than the amount you were approved for. While you can technically afford the amount, that's the ceiling. Keep it as the ceiling. And it doesn't account for a broken washer or dryer or any other expenses that arise during home ownership, especially right after you buy. Rather than maxing out the amount, set a lower purchase budget to leave yourself wiggle room for unexpected costs.
Okay.
Right? Like I said, always go below your marker.
So if you're looking for a 600k home, go for 500 if you can, right?
Yes, 550, 500. You always have that little bit of a buffer there. Be prepared to compromise. It's rare to find a house that's perfect in every way. So think carefully about what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not. Right? Perhaps no walk-in closet in the master bedroom is a deal breaker, but an outdated guest bathroom will be tolerable until you can renovate it.
Right, okay.
So you got to see what's your priorities. Right?
Okay.
Avoid a bidding war that blows your budget. In a competitive real estate market with limited inventory, it's likely you'll be bidding on houses that get multiple offers. When you find a home you love, it's tempting to make a high-priced offer that's sure to win. But don't let your emotions take over. Stick to your purchase budget to avoid getting stuck with a mortgage payment you really can't afford. Right? Now, I always advise this to many people. Don't get emotional with your purchases.
Right.
It's an investment. A house is an investment.
Right.
I know, love your home, pride of your home and so on. Yeah, I agree with that. As long as you're staying there, be proud of your home.
Yeah.
But always take it as an investment.
Right.
Don't get emotionally attached to your home. I know people who have told me they've been living in that house for the past 40 years. 2 generations have been living in the house. And it can fetch a good amount, and that person needs the money. But he doesn't want to sell the house because it was left to him by his dad.
I see.
Now, why did your dad leave you that house? In case of an emergency, you have something. You've got to look at it that way. A home is a house is an investment purchase. Right? So don't get too emotionally attached to it. That's just going to bring you down.
Yeah.
Right? Negotiate. A lot can be up for negotiation in the home buying process, which can result in major savings. Are there any major repairs you can get the seller to cover, either by fully handling them or by giving you a credit adjustment at closing? Is the seller willing to pay for any of the closing costs? If you're in a buyer's market, you may find the seller will bargain with you to get the house off the market.
Okay.
This is the current market conditions we are in right now is a buyer's market for the secondary market.
Right.
We are in that situation right now. Why I say that is because sellers of secondary property are finding it tough to sell right now because the primary market have got all sorts of packages. If you're buying a new property, you probably get your MOT covered, you get your S&P covered, you get your lawyer's fee covered, you get a rebate, all sorts of things where you actually practically come out with nothing to buy a house. But the secondary market, you don't have that. So if I want to sell my house, the buyer is going to have to pay for MOT, pay the stamping duty, pay the lawyer's fee, pay almost everything.
Right.
So there's a lot of expenses there.
So secondary market is more expensive
at the moment.
Right. Okay.
That's why it's called a buyer's market at the moment. Okay. So if you want to buy into a secondary market and you know for a fact this is the situation, utilize it.
Right.
Tell the buyer, okay, I'm willing to buy, but you cover this, you cover this, you cover this. The seller, sorry. The buyer can determine to the seller. He can dictate to a certain extent.
Right, okay.
And so we are in that market, so this is just a little tip for them out there. I hope home sellers are not going to get angry with me because of this.
Right, for those of you who are tuning in right now, we're talking about first-time home buyers, the essentials for first-time home buyers, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buy home owners insurance. We spoke about this last week, yeah? Before you close on your new house, your lender will require you to buy home ownership insurance, mortgage insurance. Shop around and compare rates to find the best price. Look closely at what's covered in the policies. Going with a less expensive policy usually means fewer protections and more out-of-the-pocket expenses if you file a claim. Right? So do your research properly with your MRTA, yeah, or your MLTA. Now, know the limit of a home inspection. Once your offer is accepted, you'll pay for a home inspection to examine the property's condition inside and outside. But not all inspections test for things like radon, mold, or pests. So be sure you know what's included. Make sure the inspector can access every part of the home, such as the roof and any crawl spaces. You'll have living things in crawl spaces, yeah? Attend the inspection and pay close attention. Don't be afraid to ask your inspector to take a look or a closer look at something and ask any questions you may have. No inspector will answer the question, should I buy this house? So don't bother asking the inspector that. So you'll have to make this decision after reviewing the reports and seeing what the seller is willing to fix. Right? So an inspector is important, and make sure the inspector inspects all the areas you want him to inspect. All right? Well, pick the right neighborhood. Finding the right neighborhood is just as important as locating the right house. Research the schools, even if you don't have kids, since it affects your home value. Look at local safety and crime statistics. How close are the nearest hospitals, pharmacies, grocery stores, and other amenities you'll use? Also, drive through the neighborhood on various days and at different times to check out traffic, noise, and activity levels.
Right. Okay.
Go and talk to your municipals if you have to. See how the area is before you purchase. And in conclusion, it's easy to look at properties that meet your current needs. But if you plan to start or expand your family, it may be preferable to buy a larger home you can grow into. Right? Consider your future needs and wants and whether this home will suit you now and in the future.
Right. So a lot of this, basically we've been talking about essentials for a first-time home buyer. A lot of it is common sense, right?
It is, basically.
Yeah, basically saving, check your credits, get good credits, scores and all that, yeah? So yes, if you're a first-time home buyer, you want to buy your first home this year, and if you have any questions, do look up Guna Prasad on social media. You can tweet him as well at Guna Prasad3, and you can email him as well, gp.mj@gmail.com, yeah? And also, we've been doing Facebook Live, so you can go on there, check us out. If you have any kind of questions, so you can leave some comments on there for Guna and he'll reply, yeah?
Definitely. Right. And just to remind everyone again, I just set up the YouTube channel. There's a few videos in there at the moment. So go and check it out. MJ Communications, EMJAY Communications. Subscribe to it. It's free. It's free subscription. So subscribe to it. You'll get prompts, I believe, every time I upload something.
Right.
Yeah. So and I'll be doing it regularly. There'll be regular videos up there.
Right. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much for being here today with us, Guna, for
Thank
that
you.
little I would say lesson, because it's always a lesson when you come in, because I'm still trying to buy my first home, so it's always a lesson.
Should.
Yeah,
you should. It's the right time right now.
It's the right time.
It's
yeah,
the right time. It's always the right time to buy a house.
It's always the right time. Yep. Anyway, have a good weekend, Guna.
Same to you and everyone out there. Good weekend, all.
Feel good radio station.
Make me feel good. Anywhere, anytime. Traxx FM.
When you walk past that park near your apartment, now do you think about me? Do you think about me?